Hello everybody, this is City Scrapper. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. I am back today for day 16 of Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches, Series 7. You can see that in this sketch there is a horizontal strip, and on the strip there are two photos. For my layout, I am using a photo that measures approximately 4 by 4 inches. This one right here, I'm going to put that one on the right. And then the larger photo, which is about 4 by 6 inches. I think I trimmed it down slightly, and that's going on the left. And I'm mounting the larger one on some navy blue paper and the smaller one on some red paper. I'm also mounting each of the photos on some white cardstock. And I used the white paper because I thought that it would work well to separate the photos from the yellow background. I liked the way the larger picture looked with the white border, so I added one to the smaller photo as well. I think the biggest challenge that I have with this layout was that this collection that I'm using, this Die Cuts with a View collection, I have already used it many times and there isn't too much left in the pad. So I am using some strips that are left in there, but you could see even that yellow piece of paper that's in the background that has the little hole on the top. That's sometimes on the top of papers that are ripped from paper pads. I knew that would be covered up, but you can see I don't really have a lot of this collection left. But I thought that this was a really good sketch to use when you don't have a lot of large pieces of paper because of the banners. So you could see here that I am now cutting out the banners. I like to cut one side and then fold over the banner so that I can use the part I already cut as a template for the other side of the banner. Again, I didn't have a lot of that kind of bluish green, I guess kind of a turquoisey piece of paper there, so I just used a piece of white paper to extend the strip or extend the banner and make it long enough to be seen on both sides of the photo. So I'm just going through the papers. I know that there are 4 banners and I'm going to stick to the sketch, so I decided to use the gray piece of paper and that blue piece of paper for the smaller banners and the blue pattern paper and the red pattern paper for the larger banners. Now, to make it a little bit easier to manipulate everything, I'm just attaching all of the banners down to a white piece of cardstock that I put some ATG adhesive on. And that way, if I don't like the way they're placed, it would be easier to move them around than if I attach the whole thing down to the pattern paper behind it. So that ends up working out pretty well. I have all the banners in place and they're all attached down to the back of the photo. So now I'm happy with everything and I'm just going to go ahead and attach down my photos. Here you could see that I'm putting a little strip of paper on the bottom and I put a strip of paper on the top as well. I don't have enough to go all the way across, so I have to kind of piece it together. And for this layout with the white background, I thought that having just a little something, a little bit of pattern paper on the top and the bottom would be necessary to keep your eye focused on the center and on the photos. I'm using ATG adhesive to attach that whole unit down to the background. And then I start working on some photo corners. I'm using this EK Success scalloped photo corner punch, and I'm punching out some photo corners in coordinating colors. And first I try these different stripes. In the end, I end up switching it up a little bit. After I try these photo corners on the background, I decide that I want to have a bit of a border between the yellow horizontal strip and the white background. So I use a scalloped punch and I punch out a strip of paper for the top and the bottom, as you could see, and I like the way the navy blue looks with the yellow. Here you could see I finally decided on using all the same color for all the photo corners and using that greenish color. Here I'm adding some enamel dots. I am choosing colors that will contrast with the banners, the colors of the banners. In that way, the enamel dots will be visible. Now I'm trying to decide what kinds of stickers I think would look good on the layout. I have some stickers that aren't from this collection, but they coordinate with the collection. So I add a little phrase sticker. And now I'm attaching down those photo corners. I don't want to lose them. As I mentioned, I don't have a lot of that bluish paper, so I don't want to lose any of the photo corners and not have an additional one photo corner to use if I should lose one. And I also like the way I was able to use the punch to leave a little tiny dog print in the corner of each of those photo corners, so I don't know if I had enough paper to punch another one out or if I'd be able to get the little paw print in the corner. I'm mounting a lot of those little sentiments on solid papers just to help them stand out a little bit. I had mentioned that the photos are of my two dogs, Coco and Jackson. These pictures were taken not too long after we got them, and they're very good dogs. I really can't complain about them. There are some little things that they do. Jackson is known for eating a lot of things in the house. He will steal food all the time, and he will also eat things that aren't necessarily food. So he does chew a lot of clothing up, and even with getting older, he still hasn't gotten out of that habit. Coco is a really sweet girl, but she likes to be the boss, so she doesn't like it when Jackson gets too much attention. So she could kind of give him a hard time if she feels that she isn't getting her due amount of attention. So I use the Troublemaker sentiment on the bottom, and that's going to be my title, but they're really sweet dogs. There were little teeny tiny dog print stickers on one of the sticker sheets. You could see it there on the left. And I really like those stickers. I made the mistake of sticking them right down to the layout, and then I had to peel them up. It rips the paper a tiny bit, but it's really not noticeable. What I end up doing is I end up taking all of those little stickers and I attach them to a white piece of paper first, and that helps me to be able to move them around. I did cut out a lot of footage of me moving the little dog prints around the page. In the end, I decided to just put them only on the upper right-hand corner and put them in a little line. I really like that orange doghouse sticker. I put that on some white solid cardstock, and that made it perfect. I was able to move it around the page. I also tried to use those little stickers there to line of a paw print and a peace sign and something else, and the colors were good, but I just couldn't find the right spot for it on the layout. And here you can see this is where I'm putting those little paw prints on a piece of paper, and I cut each one out and you can see there I'm arranging them. I'm trying them in different places around the layout, and like I said, in the end I just end up putting them on the top. But I do like that idea of taking stickers and attaching them to white cardstock and then making it so that they're almost like a piece of ephemera and they can be moved around the page. I changed my mind about the strip of paper that I wanted to have at the bottom and the top of the layout. I felt like the striped paper that I had, it wasn't dark enough, it was too light, and it wasn't serving the purpose for me of kind of showing where the layout ends. And so I decided to go with this little strip of hearts, and I put a solid scallop in red behind it. And I like this better. I feel like this makes a lot more sense. I also, in addition, I mentioned that I'm going to be putting some of those dog paw prints on the upper right-hand corner. I also put some on some of the letters around the layout. I put one on the R of Troublemaker, the O of Dogs, and the R in Rough. And I thought that that added a cute little touch. So I don't even try to take up that border. I was afraid it would just make a big mess and I would rip everything. So I decided to just attach this new border right over the old border. You can see there I'm attaching that little paw print to the O and to the R. And you can see that I attached down the dog house with the little blue dog coming out of it. And this is where I'm arranging those little paw prints on the top. And while I show you how I arrange the little paw prints, I do not show you me gluing them down because that took a very long time. They're so small, they're a little bit hard to manipulate. Finally, I added those 2 hearts, and that completes the layout. I hope you liked the video, and I hope if you did, you'll give it a thumbs up. Please check out all the other ladies who are following along with this challenge. There's a complete list in the description box. I hope that everybody has a great day, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.